Hello everybody, I'm going to try this again. I tried to record earlier and it wouldn't let me record as much as I wanted to. But I haven't made a video in the past couple days. I guess the manic part of the bipolar that I developed or whatever is going on in here has turned to the manic or the depressive part. So I'm having to push a lot further to get up and fix my hair and put makeup on and all that stuff. And those of you who are just starting out in recovery, or you're on your second year or first year, I feel your pain. I understand how frustrating. Sorry, my hair's a mess. How frustrating it is, and you're so mad at yourself, so aggravated at yourself because you feel like you're not pulling your weight. When you're disabled, and you don't want to accept the fact that you're disabled. You want to be able to do what you used to do. Trust me, I still every day I fight that. And what's helped me the most is talking to myself, because you kind of have to relearn how to love yourself again, because you're a different person now completely. And all this memory stuff, like where you don't remember hardly anything from the time that the rupture happened until now. And then you have all these scary moments where you're like, did I say anything or do anything? Or you take pictures that you don't remember taking. You record videos you don't remember recording. I know it's hard to believe, but it's like all this stuff bundled together, and you just forget it, and then you get confused, and it's frustrating. And what you have to do is go above that and be like, look, this is not my fault. It happened. I survived it. Now let me learn how to thrive with it. And now by no means am I thriving yet, but this is a big leap for me. And I need this time with you, because I want you. The only thing I know to do to help is to explain how bad I was, and how bad things got, and how bad things can get, and how I can manipulate my mind into thinking that it can do things. And I do use some supplement like magnesium, nothing unnatural. I use the Thermo-X. I use some amino acids and stuff. And what I decided, I went through this wonky after menopause and everything, and the rupture and the medication, because every medication, I don't care what it is, from that you get for bipolar. Sorry, my hair's really bothering me. But every medication that you get for the bipolar, like it will make you gain weight, pretty much all of them. And I decided, you know what, I quit with this whole dieting and stressing out every single day, weighing myself and stressing about the differences on the scale, because there's no point in that. I can just eat healthier and exercise every day and do what I can. If there's a day that I can't do it, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But I say that, I still do sometimes. And nobody has to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Your brain controls everything in your body. It controls all your thoughts, all your feelings, everything. Your motivation and everything is up here. And when you have that happen, you are going to be a couple years in bed. You're going to be depressed. You're going to have trouble, depending on if you have an SAH like I did, the bleed, stroke part, and the aneurysm rupture, or whether you had just the regular. It just depends on what part of your brain was damaged, but you still, most of you are going to suffer from some depression, and that's okay. But don't beat yourself up because you can't do the dishes that day, or you can't get up because you have neurofatigue. And at the beginning, that fatigue is really bad, and it's really important that you get rest. I'm beyond help with the rest part right now. That's why I want to go to the neuropsych and find out why I'm not sleeping. Um, and it's important, I know, to get sleep, because I'll get in this mode where like reality and what I've done and what I haven't, I'll get all confused. And on top of being confused already, it's not a fun thing. But what I try to do is I'll go, a couple nights and not sleep, and then I'll get like a couple hours. And if I get those couple hours and I have a little bit of energy, I will make myself, in that 1 minute time period that you have, that you're like, maybe I could do this, I take advantage of that time and I just get up really quick. I just get up. I walk straight. I don't talk to my caregiver. I don't talk to anyone. I walk straight in there. I make my keto coffee. I drink it. I take my medicine. I do a routine, because once you get into a routine, it's so much easier to exercise and think. Like, I do brain exercises on my phone. But there's also the ADD. You're going to have some trouble focusing and stuff like that. Because most people, I was talking to my doctor about this when I was leaving, because he was asking me how it was doing. And, I know I have it really bad. And I know that's probably half the reason I'm not sleeping. But some of it's the rest of the medication and everything. But if you have trouble with your attention span after an aneurysm rupture or a TBI, traumatic brain injury, and you can't, and you do like I do, and you it to death and have a little bit of aphasia at the beginning and have to take speech classes like I did, or you have to deal with akinesia, which is movement inside your body, and it constantly feels like you have to move. I have to sleep in a separate room sometimes because I don't want to keep my husband up all night, But, in the back of your mind, just accept the fact that you don't have to accept that you're disabled, accept that you have limitations because you're healing and because you went through something that should have killed you, but it didn't. And there was a reason, like I think, okay, yeah, financially everything, everything is kind of rough, but what if it made me be able to help somebody else? Because I don't want to do this for me. I want to do this just a couple people. If you respond and say, well, thank you for telling your story, you inspired me. I know I can get past it, because you can, because I was so low. I packed a bag, was going to walk down the street, go up to the mountaintop, and end it all. I did that several times. I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take the pain, the internal pain, the head pain, the things like that. They had to try different medications and constantly switching, switching. And then you're on so many, and then you gain weight. And then if you're like me, you're not used to feeling that water weight, awful. It's not like a normal weight gain with the like lithium and olanzapine, all this stuff that they had me on. It was a water weight gain, and it was all like, right in the middle part. And I decided just recently, I was like, I could, keep stressing about this weight stuff, or I could start lifting and turn the muscle into fat, or you know what I mean? See what I mean? Turn the fat into muscle instead of keep trying to lose it, because I'm probably not going to. I'm nearing 40. It's going to get harder. And, with the hormone issue, things like that, your whole body changes. And like I said, my thyroid went from being really low to being really high. And it keeps going up. And my blood pressure keeps going up and things like that. So things are going to change. You got to be able to just embrace the change, go with it. Trust your doctors to a point, but there's nothing wrong with reading and doing your research. But don't be like me and Wikipedia everything to death and Google search everything to death until you have every side effect on there and you convince yourself that you're, you have it, and just don't do that. But you got to learn to love your journey. Like, love the fact that you just got through all that. Love the fact that you survived it. And you still haven't given up yet, because even if you're laying in bed, you're still laying in bed. You're not dead yet. You haven't given up anything. You've still got hope in the back of that mind. And if you watch these videos, I want to give you more hope, because I'm telling you, when I say I was low, I didn't talk to people. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't shower. I didn't take care of it's embarrassing, but I didn't take care of anything. My personal hygiene suffered. My husband suffered. My father-in-law, who's my caretaker, suffered. The moodiness, just up and down, and then the sadness and that overwhelming darkness was just always there. And as my brain started to heal more, and I started to push myself just a little bit at a time, I'm going to go outside and sit for 30 minutes today and drink my coffee. Then tomorrow maybe I'll sit outside for an hour, or if you need to move slower. It's okay. But I'm just telling you that it is so possible. Like I said, yesterday and the day before, I didn't want to get out of bed. I had those 2 days where it was just impossible. But a lot of it has to do with the sleep cycle. If you have insomnia as bad as I do, it's hard to think and things. Right now I've had a lot of caffeine, so I'm kind of hyper. But to your benefit, I can think a little bit clearer. But don't focus so much on the negative. Don't be so daggone hard on yourself. You're so much tougher than you even realize. You're so much stronger. You've got so much more to give. People love you. I love you. I love you for what you've come through. I love you for what you're going through now, because I know it's hard. I know it's probably the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life. And I know if you're alone like I was, and I say alone like you don't have a lot of friends and family that are there to be there for you, because I had no one. I have my husband, but he has to work all the time because I can't work anymore. And you have to accept that too, and that's really hard, because I wanted to just go right back to work, but then I'm like, well, how am I going to multitask if I can't even, tie my shoes correctly? How am I going to multitask if I fall randomly down the steps, or if I forget things every 5 minutes? How am I going to help a customer or manage a business or do anything like that? You just got to accept the fact that maybe I'm just not ready yet. Maybe I will be, or maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else. And then it's okay. There's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with slow change. We could fall apart right now because our roof is falling apart, and we have a vehicle broke down, and we don't have any four-wheel drive for me to go to these upcoming doctor's appointments that which right now it's hot, but I know here pretty soon when you go down to towards Cincinnati and those areas, you're going to get into some snow. Columbus, Morgantown. But point being is, I went through 3 psychiatrists. Walked out on one of them because he didn't have time to deal with me. He was busy or something, and he kept messing with his phone, so I just got up and left. Said forget it. Another one I went to, it was like a conference thing where you have to talk to a computer screen and it's delayed, and I got so frustrated because I couldn't understand what she was saying anyway because of the interference, and then on top of everything we're delayed, and I'm trying to explain to her everything that's happened to me in my entire life all in one session so that she can prescribe all this medication that is highly strong. It's too strong to not monitor me more. So that one I put to the side, and I decided I'll talk to my neurologist and see if they can recommend someone. Well, they don't have anybody close, so I've got to get a referral with Medicare. It's just a long story. But the thing is, Don't be afraid to ask for help. If it's getting that bad, if you need medication, it's okay, because, I did. I still do. I still take 3 different medications to be able to stay below that anxiety radar. And I don't want you to have to suffer if you don't want to, or if you don't have to. You don't want to. Of course, you don't want to. But, and your confidence will come. Mine, I push myself, but I've never been one of those that had that big amount of self-confidence, and I was always really quiet and backward, but I would be goofy to kind of make up for that. Labeled as, of course, a snob, just because I wasn't real confident, and my self-esteem was pretty low growing up. But I had so many medical problems then too, and I just came from a family that had a lot of medical issues, and I just kind of inherited that part of it. But the thing is, when they told me, your aneurysm and your stroke is due to smoking, stress, blood pressure, I started taking my blood pressure medicine. I started taking my blood pressure regularly to make sure my medicine was working. I quit smoking immediately. I wasn't a heavy smoker, but I was a stress smoker, and I quit. And luckily I haven't had any even if I did have cravings, I wouldn't do it, because I don't want this to happen again. And I lowered my stress in a way, but it's all mind control. Like, I started yoga and yin classes when they were doing a special, and right now I can't afford it, but I'm trying to do a little bit at home, because it feels good to stretch. You know how your legs are constantly sore when you have it, and a lot of times that nerve damage in your legs, it's just a constant soreness that you got to work out, and you constantly massaging your legs. And I even remember being in the hospital, and my husband bringing, we call it the thumper, and it's a massager, and he would just run it up and down my legs for hours, and I would just cry. But I don't do that now, and it just takes time. Give yourself time. Don't be in a hurry. If you have any questions for me, if you need to just one-on-one talk to me, I'm here. I'm Jen B on YouTube if you want to watch my videos. All I want is you to know that you're not alone. I'm here with you through this. I will be there with you through this. That's what I want to do. It's kind of my way of giving back, I guess, in a way. But just please, if you're laying in bed right now and you're feeling awful, or you've been in bed and you're feeling awful, and you're like, man, my house is a wreck. Your house will just be a wreck. That's not the end of the world. At least you're there. Could be worse. And just because the neighbor's yard looks perfectly groomed and their flower garden's all pretty, and you've got weeds growing up to the ceiling in yours, well, so what? At least you're still here, and you'll get to it eventually. Even if you want to go out like I did, pick 5 minutes a day and go outside and pick 5 minutes worth of weeds. And then the next day, maybe do 5 or 10 minutes. There is nothing wrong with doing baby steps, because that's the only way that I was successful. When I tried to rush into it, I failed every time, because I would make myself so tired that I had to take like a whole day and recover in bed, because I would wear myself out. And I didn't believe in the neurofatigue. I didn't believe in, and I thought it was all me. It's all me. I'm just depressed, and and they don't even really know if it's bipolar. They just kind of assume from where the aneurysm was in the middle there, that controls the emotions and things like that, and they just assume by my ups and downs that that's what that probably is, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay to admit it. I have bipolar. That's fine. I have days when I'm manic. I have days where I have energy, more energy than others, but I never have like a ton of energy. But I quit drinking pop because of some of the weight loss. I do drink a lot of water, which, hey, it'll help you, make you get up and go to the bathroom. So in the morning, if you want to get up, then just drink a bunch of water before you go to bed. There you go. But I just wanted to make a quick video. I was going to sit down and talk to you, but for some reason, like on this thing here, it's like just so far away. Like you're just way over there. But I've actually started lifting, so I'm not as big as this camera makes me look ginormous. But I decided, let's turn this fat into muscle, like I said, and we'll not stress about eating every single bite of everything, because I can't stand that. And counting calories, might as well forget it. And I did the keto. I lost the most on the keto diet. But if you're like me, limited funds, and you gotta feed 3 big boys and yourself, you can't really afford to go buy special foods for just you. But that's okay too. But we're growing our tomatoes now, and they're doing good. And we grew some green beans. One year we grew some lettuce, and when I got sick, I didn't do as much. But I want to get back into that. But I don't want to make this video so long that you don't want to watch it. So please forgive the quality of the videos and my and I practiced before today, so hopefully it's a little bit better. But I love you guys. I pray for you guys. I hope everything is wonderful. If you need to talk, holler at me. Remember, my best time's at 1 a.m. Until 4 a.m. I'm up wide awake, usually until 8 a.m. Usually all the time I'm awake, but just, hit me up if you need to talk. I don't care what it's about. Do not care. No judgment. Not from this girl. But keep fighting. Keep fighting the good fight. You're worth it. Remember it. And I love you. I truly do. I truly care. If you need anything, like I said, I'm going to repeat myself 15 times. Shout at me. Okay.